We do have an important update on Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich. After losing an appeal in Moscow court earlier this month, we've learned he will now remain behind bars until at least November 30th. The journalist will mark 6 months in custody, facing espionage charges while reporting in Russia, which obviously the paper and he all deny. Joining us now, Danielle Gershkovich, with an update on her brother's condition. And also with us today is assistant editor at the Wall Street Journal, Paul Beckett. Welcome to you both to Newsline. I thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of emotion with this latest ruling. Danielle, let's begin with you. Evan will spend his 32nd birthday, which is this Thursday, in a Russian prison. Tell us a little bit about what is going on with your family as you plead to get him released. He is the first American reporter held on such charges since the Cold War.
Yes, his arrest is unprecedented because he was a credentialed journalist. So it came as a shock to us. His birthday on Thursday is just another reminder that every single day that he's imprisoned is a day too long. What we're doing as a family is we're trying to keep his spirits up. We wrote him some birthday messages, and I hope they get to him in time and hope that he can have the best day possible. But of course, we want him home. We want him to be spending his birthday at home today.
Absolutely.
On Thursday.
Paul, tell us a little bit about Evan's case. He was there doing his job. He has an incredible resume, but really a reminder of the dangerous work journalists can do when they're in foreign countries and how these things can transpire. What can you share about his case and possibly, his release? If I'm sure the paper's working extremely hard with diplomats to try and secure that.
Yeah, thanks, Bianca, and appreciate you having us on to talk about it. Obviously, these charges are false. We've said so. The U.S. government has said so. So since then, there have been a series of pretrial detentions that go on for 3 months. The latest, as you said, will end in November. And then at some point, it's very opaque, but at some point we'd expect Evan to be put on trial. We've seen signals from both sides saying that, there are some discussions, but so far we've seen, as soon as someone says that, then pretty soon afterwards we get guidance that there hasn't really been any breakthrough. So we are hopeful that more could be done to solve this and to get Evan back to his family and back to the newsroom. The Russians have said previously that a possible way to do this might be a prisoner swap after a trial. That is one way that these things do get solved in negotiations between the U.S. and Russian governments. But we are just hopeful that more could be done as soon as possible to bring this to a conclusion.
Prisoner swap. So, Danielle, obviously you want your brother home. Is there a message you'd like to send to the Biden administration today? And folks, if they are watching, if they are hearing, and this gets to them?
Evan is such an amazing person. He's just so dedicated and loves being a journalist. That's his passion. And he's also incredibly fun-loving, just silly, just hilarious. And his friends and family, we just want him to get back to doing what he loves the most. Also President Biden promised our family personally that he's going to get Evan home. So Evan's not here yet. The job isn't done, and we're waiting to see him home.
Paul, you talked about this as being an attack on journalism, but also the free press. There's reporters in conflict zones, Israel, Ukraine, all over, and they are putting their lives on the line as they try to get to the story. When you heard that Paul was being detained, as someone who had been a reporter for the Moscow Times, this must have been such a shock to you as well as an editor at the Wall Street Journal.
It was shocking. Evan had started working for us just at the start of 2022. He was extremely familiar with the terrain in Russia, and you never, ever want to hear that about one of your colleagues anywhere in the world. As you say, it is part of to varying degrees, broadly hostile environment to journalists everywhere. And obviously, in Russia's case, we believe he was taken as a hostage to gain leverage with the US government. But we've seen various regimes around the world, China, Iran, others, become more repressive of an independent press. And I think ultimately that's terrible for America. It's hard to think of countries around the world that have more influence on the future of America. And these are the very countries that are depriving us of getting meaningful information about the world that we live in.
Yes, it is such an important role journalists are playing. Paul Beckett of the Wall Street Journal and Danielle Gershkovich, I thank you for your time and continue to keep us updated. We are so glad you could bring Evan's story to the forefront today for us here on Newsline. Thank you both.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.